There's something magical about old photographs. The way a hairstyle alone could tell you exactly what year it was, what music was playing on the radio, and what kind of future people dreamed about. Hairstyles weren't just fashion. They were identity, rebellion, and hope. Today, we're looking back at 10 forgotten hairstyles that defined each decade of the 20th century. Number 1. The Gibson girl updo, 1900s. At the dawn of the century, the Gibson girl was the picture of elegance. Women piled their hair high into soft, rounded updos, often with loose curls around the face. It was romantic, graceful, and spoke of a time before modern convenience. But as the First World War approached, the look began to fade. By the 1920s, shorter, practical cuts had pushed this dreamy style into the past. Number 2. The Marcel Wave, 1910s. The 1910s belong to the Marcel Wave, named after the French stylist Marcel Gratteau. Using heated tongs, women sculpted their hair into elegant S-shaped waves. It shimmered in ballroom light and made every woman look like she had just stepped out of a silent film. But when the flapper era arrived, women chopped their hair short, leaving behind the long wavy styles that once ruled the decade. Number 3. The bobbed flapper cut, 1920s. Nothing says the roaring 20s like the bob. Short, sleek, and often paired with bangs, it was more than just a hairstyle. It was a symbol of independence. Flappers danced in smoky clubs, their sharp bobs bouncing with every jazz note. But by the 1930s, the playful rebellion of the bob gave way to softer, more conservative waves as the Great Depression set in. Number 4. Finger waves, 1930s. When the economy crashed, glamour didn't disappear. It just transformed. Finger waves, carefully molded close to the head, gave women a touch of Hollywood sophistication. Stars like Jean Harlow made it iconic, and women across America copied the look with bobby pins and patience. But as the world edged toward war, hairstyles loosened and finger waves slowly slipped out of everyday life. Number 3. Victory rolls, 1940s. World War II brought with it a hairstyle of strength and pride, the victory roll. Women rolled their hair high and wide, creating dramatic shapes that stood tall, almost like banners of resilience. They were practical too, keeping hair away from the face in factories and fields. After the war, though, the rolls faded as women traded them in for softer, feminine curls in peacetime. Number 6. The Italian cut, 1950s. The 1950s were all about curves and volume, and the Italian cut fit right in. Inspired by stars like Sophia Loren, it featured short, layered curls that framed the face. It was glamorous, yet approachable, perfect for the new suburban lifestyle. But as the decade turned, teenagers wanted something bigger, bolder, and more rebellious, leaving the Italian cut behind. Number 7. The Beehive, 1960s. Few hairstyles are as instantly recognizable as the Beehive. Piled high and sprayed into place, it was a towering symbol of the 1960s. From Motown singers to suburban moms, everyone seemed to tease their hair skyward. But the maintenance was exhausting, and by the early 70s, women were ready to let their hair down, literally. Number 8. The Shag, 1970s. The 1970s were wild, free, and unstructured, and the Shag haircut captured that perfectly. With layers cut at every angle, it looked effortlessly cool on both men and women. Rock stars like Mick Jagger and Jane Fonda made it famous, and it became the go-to style for anyone chasing that carefree vibe. But as the 80s arrived, people traded loose and shaggy for big, bold, and heavily styled. Number 9. Big hair and perms. 1980s. The 1980s were all about excess, and hair was no exception. Perms created massive curls, and cans of hairspray kept everything larger than life. Whether you were a pop star on MTV or a teenager in the suburbs, the bigger the better was the rule. But by the 90s, people craved simplicity again, and all that volume deflated almost overnight. Number 10. The Rachel, 1990s. The 90s gave us one of the most famous hairstyles of all time, the Rachel, made popular by Jennifer Aniston on Friends. With choppy layers and face-framing highlights, it seemed like every salon had someone asking for it. It was the look of the decade, fresh, casual, and modern. But like all trends, it eventually fell out of favor, leaving behind a snapshot of a time when sitcoms ruled television. From towering beehives to silky finger waves, each decade of the 20th century left its mark in the way people wore their hair. These styles weren't just about beauty. They were about history, culture, and the spirit of the times. Which one would you bring back if you could? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us again for more stories from the past.